So Blue Apron adventure today is going to be this bad herb crusted rockfish and butter pan sauce with garlic. Oh, some more garlic. Garlic salt. They love to use garlic in their menus. Garlic, sauteed kale, and mashed potatoes. Now, this will be the first time I ever try some kale, so I'm going in. But what you get with this is kale, rice flour. This is going to be hard to make. I already know that. Panko breadcrumbs, crushed red pepper flakes. What's that? Creekside creamy buttery butter. And that a wild Alaskan rockfish, which I've never had. Thyme and some Yukon Gold potatoes. And I love me some taters. Not potatoes, but those are taters. But anyway, here goes nothing. We're gonna try this bad boy. I'm not necessarily going for the look. I'm going for the taste. The first thing it says do is cook the mashed potatoes. That makes sense. Prepare the remaining ingredients and you cook the kale. I don't know why I thought you would be like boiling kale like they do greens, but according to this, that's what you're gonna do with the kale. And so, anybody know what kale tastes like? I guess I'm about to find out here in about another 20 minutes. And then you add a cup of water and you bread the rockfish, crack the egg. Oh, I'm missing the egg. Let's get this egg. It's that old special egg. Well, it really ain't nothing special about it. It's just cage-free egg. I guess the egg is less stressed. I don't know. Cook the rockfish. Then the last thing is make the pan sauce and plate your dish. So let's see if we can do all this in under 30 minutes. Is this a 30-minute meal? It says time is 25 to 35 minutes. All right, so it says destem the kale, which I did. Slice and dice the taters and boil them bad boys. Prepare the fish, which I did. Well, it's not prepared yet, but we're finna hook that up in a minute. So that's kale, destemmed. We're gonna put it in there, and it's almost like you're frying the kale in olive oil. I actually went and bought some olive oil because I made the comment, black people don't use olive oil, and somebody said, yeah, black people do use olive oils, those that cook. Clearly I don't cook, but I got olive oil now. So we're doing these potatoes, and it says 2 to 3 minutes, but let me check on these bad boys. Now they're kind of soft, but I'm gonna let them cook like that a little longer, just sit in that hot water, and then we'll mash them up. The one thing you can't have is a bunch of hard potatoes. They're still good either way though. But this kale is what I'm interested in. It's like frying greens. It's kind of how I'm looking at it, but I've never seen anybody in the hood fry greens. So we're finna do this. And the instruction says, cook the kale. Non-stick pan. Heat 2 teaspoons of olive oil on medium high. Wait a minute, that's not medium high. I got that bad boy blazing. I'm cooking it like it's catfish. But I'm gonna use all this red pepper because I want this to be smoking hot, and I'll put some black pepper in it. I don't really like hot stuff, but I think if I'm gonna eat kale, it's probably gonna have to be a little spicy. And we're gonna do a 1/4 cup of water, seasoned salt with salt and pepper. Cook and stir 3 to 4 minutes until the kale is wilted in the water. It's cooked off. Turn off the heat. Season with salt and pepper to taste. Transfer it to a plate and set aside in a warm place. Okay. Okay. Kale. That's kale. I should have cooked it all. It's only when it does wilter up like greens. I'm sure some of the cooks out there knew that, but that's enough for me. I tasted it. It tastes pretty good. I don't think I'd be a fan of it, but it's not bad. So there's kale. So we're gonna go fish into the flour, into the egg, into the breadcrumbs, back into the plate. Fish, flour, breadcrumbs, plate. Fish, flour, egg, breadcrumbs, plate. Basically, we finna bread this fish like they do at Church's Chicken. This is how the fish turned out once I put it in the flour and all that good stuff. I mean, it's basically we're just gonna fry this fish. And I'm thinking that fried fish is always good. So this is probably a meal that most people would eat. I mean, you got fish, you're gonna have mashed potatoes, and I'm not sure about the kale, but I mean, kale is just like green, so this is probably a more centralized or standard meal that most families can get with. So we'll see. Now this is my kale fail. If you'll notice, there's a stem. And when it says remove the stems, well, I initially just broke the ends off. But I didn't remember when my mom did greens, she took the stem all the way off. Basically, take the green off the damn stem. So, that's my kale fail. It's supposed to look like that and not like that. Of course, if you want to eat the stalk, that's on you. So there's the fish in the olive oil. I assume olive oil is better than vegetable oil or cooking oil. I don't know. But ordinarily we'd have that fish covered in grease, vegetable oil or whatever. But it says use 2 tablespoons. I use 3. And I'm looking forward to see how this rockfish tastes. I'm gonna do these mashed potatoes like we do in the hood. I'm gonna beat them suckers. This is how you do mashed potatoes. The instructions, I don't know what they were talking about, but that wasn't gonna work. Here's the rockfish, going pretty good. Of course, I'm gonna brown it a little bit more, but it smells good. When you cook thyme just like, ooh, the aroma that comes off is like, wow. I don't know what it tastes like, but it smells good. So rockfish actually tastes like flare fish. That's neither good or bad. It's just, that's what it tastes like. But it's got a nice taste with the thyme and the breadcrumbs that came with it. So it's pretty good. So now the instruction says take this, the little juices here, and we're gonna take this butter and these lemons, and we're gonna make a sauce for the mashed potatoes. So let's see how that works out. All right, so I didn't show how I made the little gravy, but this is the little gravy that they made with the butter, the lemons, and water, salt, and pepper. And that's gonna go over the mashed potatoes. So let's see how this all works out. Time to fix that plate. All right, so that's the actual picture of what it looks like. And here's my results. That butter sauce and lemon, I would say add a little sugar or something to it. You know, it's kind of bitter, but it still has a good taste to it. But that's Blue Apron meal number 3 for week 1. I need to start adding some bread, but the way my gut look, I think I'm gonna pass on the bread for now. But we're gonna try this kale and all of this good stuff and see what happens. All right, let's see what happens here. I should heat this kale up actually, because it's been sitting on the stove. But first test. Yep. Even unheated is good. Kale is just like greens, pretty much. Oh, that's enough recording. Blue Apron, herb crusted rockfish, thumbs up.